Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pro Series. Today, we have another interesting guest from HGTV. If you're not familiar with some of the new shows on HGTV, there's a show called Farmhouse Fixer right now. It is hosted by New Kids on the Block's Jonathan Knight and Christina Christen. She's an interior designer. And today, I'll have the honor to interview Jay Rodricks, who has done so many different things, from set production for movies, TV shows, music videos, to commercial interior design, and also onto this show. So I'm so glad I get to sit down with Jay and talk to him about a little bit about his business and the show as well. Let me admit him. Yeah, perfect.
Nice. How's it
Great
going? Let me see. I want to make sure you know better than me. I want to make sure I'm like in your frame.
You're perfect.
Okay, cool.
Great background too.
Yeah, man, this is the shop.
Perfect. Yeah, you're sporting the north of Boston shirt too.
Yeah, north of Boston Studios. Yep. Or NoBS for short.
Yeah, we'll do that towards the end of the interview. But to start off, we want to talk about Farmhouse Fixer. And could you explain a little bit to someone that hasn't seen the show or hasn't watched HGTV of the concept of the show and what's your part in the show?
Yeah, sure. So in a nutshell, Farmhouse Fixer came to me years ago, probably going on 3 years ago. A designer that I work with came to me and pitched this show. And the premise would be, we're in New England, we're in the Boston area. Mm-hmm. The premise is that it would be a renovation show that is saving historical homes, okay? The key players in the show are Christina Christen, the designer, and Jonathan Knight, who is one of the New Kids on the Block, is like world-renowned, very popular band. And so John has been doing this work for a very long time. Like he has renovated over 200 homes. And so I don't know how HGTV and John found each other, but he's been doing this work and he does a fantastic job. So it was a natural fit. And, ultimately we've, in this first season, we've already released, HGTV has already shown the first 3 episodes. And in each episode, John approaches the family that owns the home. They walk through some of the asks, and then the design team, Christina Christen, puts her spin on John's ideas and the way he envisions like the home, basically retaining its like historical qualities, because some of these homes, like it's just remarkable what we find in these homes. And it's been a total trip. I'm a contractor. I've been doing this for a long time, but with this show, they've specifically sought out some very unique homes. It's been cool. Yeah. And the homeowners so far have been flipping out. It's been cool.
Yeah. I mean, they've come out like beautifully.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah. I've seen them. I still have recorded the newest one. I haven't seen that one yet, but
yeah, let's talk
on that. So has this always been a dream of yours to be on a show to show off like some of your design skills and your contracting skills?
100% no.
No?
Like, honestly, if you told me like when the idea first so I'm not as hip to the renovation shows, but I've been digging in. I lumped it into the category of reality TV, kind of false narratives being put in, twisted, the dramatic element of like, oh, we got you, or oh, like, the whole foundation is falling apart. So I was very hesitant in the beginning. I saw it as a great marketing tool, hey, let's do this show. I did the pilot without asking too many questions. Nobody's really seen the original test pilot because that was just like all of us getting to know each other like 3 years ago. The first episode is the real pilot that we shot. But no, when they first approached me to do this project, I was hesitant because I hadn't seen a lot of reality television that I was thrilled with. Not that I was 100% paying attention, but I can tell you that this is like not I don't want to say like, there's just like, it's not like the cliffhanger drama where they're trying to get to like the contractor to argue with the homeowner. It's really like, there's just a lot of love on set. And like, these are some of the most brilliant people I've worked with, from designers to craftsmen to like the plumbers, the electricians, the contractor we're working with on every episode is just like, to see his work has upped my game. Like, I'm a contractor, but to be around Sean Curran and see the things that he's accomplished, it's been awesome. So it's really just like good vibes. Like, the ultimate goal is just to inspire people to like love where they're living and like know that like, you know, change is possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. And like even in the first episode, they have that real old farmhouse. And that's where you did that vanity with the cast. I think it was a cast iron sink.
Oh my God. Yeah. That was like, yes. That was like from Freddie Flintstone era. Like, that thing weighed 1,000 pounds. It was crazy.
You don't see houses like that on these shows as much. They're usually pretty livable homes that are these designers are going to. That home was like almost, you had to do something to live in it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. So that was a very unique home. That's the one where we found the well, or John found the well, the water well underneath the home.
Yeah.
So there are surprises. I mean, anybody who does construction or any of these types of renovations, we know there's surprises, right? But like, what I found with this show, and I think, you know, High Noon, who is editing all this, shooting, editing, producing these films, they just do such a great job with letting the drama be the actual drama that is just a New England job site. Yeah, it's just not scripted. It's cool. It's, for me, it gives me a lot more comfort. Like, going forward, you know, hopefully going forward, like if the show gets good, you know, we're getting a lot of love. So it seems like people are really responding well to it. And moving forward, you know, the hope is just to like continue to like find these like really creative, cool projects. And the homeowners have been remarkable. So
absolutely. That's something, as you bring that up about going to a season 2, how do you get there? Like, so you see some shows get renewed almost right away, but is it audience views or just the love that you're just getting?
No, I'm like the hippy dippy guy who appreciates the love. We need ratings, you know what I mean? So like, I'm like on team Farmhouse Fixer. Like, I want the show to be #1. I tell everybody they can see it on HGTV Wednesday nights at 9, unless, you know, check local listings. And that's Eastern time. But yeah, so I appreciate the love. I love all the beautiful comments people are leaving and stuff like that. But ultimately, no, we need ratings. And yeah, I want this show to be #1. You know, it's just like, it's got a lot of heart. You know, Jonathan and Christina, like when you see their chemistry, and the episodes keep getting better. The pilot, that episode 1, we were kind of getting to know each other on camera. And by episode 2, like, you could see like we were really spreading our wings and doing some really unique creative things that I don't think, you know, we've seen before on, you know, the channels and stuff. So.
Yeah. This is something I've always wondered. When on HGTV shows they have them, it seems like you do the design in like a day, like you design it, you install it. Are you doing are they doing multiple episodes at once to keep the ball rolling?
So, oh my God. Yeah. So the real heavy lifting has been done by Jonathan. I am living in the most sweet spot of everybody on the show. So the real heavy lifting is Jonathan, Christina Creston, the designer, and Sean Curran, the contractor, because they are literally with this season juggling multiple projects at the same time. Each job is moving a family out of their home for a minimum of like 90 days. So when you see something that seems like it was designed on the fly, that's due to like editing. You know, that's the good people at High Noon who are editing all of this footage of like 3 months worth of footage down to basically 40 minutes, you know, 40, 45 minutes. So yeah, it appears like things are just being designed very quickly, but I can tell you that Christina and her team spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours on each project, you know what I mean? Just with the design. It's a very thoughtful, you know, and John has a great vision too. Like Jonathan going into every project, like he has a really good vision for these old farmhouses.
I bet. How, did you guys shoot any of this during COVID?
Yeah. So the first episode, and that was the other thing is it was a lot to pull off. So the first episode we filmed was pre-COVID, rough numbers. That was like 2 years ago. And the rest of the episodes, the other 5 episodes of season 1 were all filmed during COVID. So there was, so it obviously, we thought we were going to start in late winter. Some things were actually in the works. People were like getting ready to move out of their homes. If not, had already moved out. Like homeowners were actually moving their families out. COVID hits. And literally the team just like, all of our heads were spinning. Like, what do we do? Like, but by spring, by the end of winter, a plan started to come into focus. Everybody at high noon, like everybody was so into the safety protocols. Like we all went into it. Like we all have families. We all went into it like, if we can, we will, but no one knew what to do. And so the production company, they just like, our team behind the scenes was like, I would touch my chop saw. This kid, Zach, would come and like wipe it down. Like, it was like, we had like a COVID team. And these are people doing that on top of like all their other chores, like the lighting people. Everyone was like taking we took it super seriously. So yeah, 5 episodes were filmed during COVID.
Wow.
All masks until like masks, tests, temperatures. We did all the stuff. And then Reese, our producer, would say, or Victoria, either one, depending on which shoot we were doing, would say, okay, action. The mask would go in the back pocket. We'd do the scene knowing we don't have COVID, the 3 of us, me, Christina, and John, or, John and the contractor, Sean, or something like that.
Yeah.
So like knowing the 3 of us didn't have COVID, we'd stick our masks in our back pocket for that scene, which might have lasted 5 minutes or something at the most, mask back on. And then we just literally it was wild. I feel so fortunate to have been working. I mean, this is like a time where there's so much uncertainty in the world that the fact that we got to do this, like I'm beyond grateful. Like this is the ultimate experience. Like we had a really, really great busy year last year, and it was because of the team, with the Farmhouse Fixer team. It was just awesome.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. How is it working with Jonathan and Christina?
Oh my God, they're so sweet. They're like brother and sister. Like they like.
So they knew each other before the show?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could say I've probably known Christina for like maybe 8 years, and I've known John since we met on that first test pilot. So like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And we all hit it off. But yeah, John and Christina have a fantastic working relationship. And like episode 1 was not their first job together. They had been doing projects together, and and then they just kind of grew as a team. I mean, it's remarkable. They kind of like finish each other's sentences. You know what I mean? And they both have like, they're like, like they think they call themselves like, like TV husband and wife or something like that. But like they're for sure. Like, I see them as like brothers and sisters because they tease each other a little bit. So
that's awesome. Fun. So shows on Wednesdays at 8, or is it 9 o'clock?
So it's 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yeah,
Okay.
so 9 p.m. And HGTV has done pretty good at like, so far we're 3 weeks in, listing that like on their social media, just Instagram. They're always posting like what's going to be on that day. They've been re-airing episodes like a couple times on the weekends. You really got to kind of follow since it's such a new show, you got to kind of follow HGTV to see what they're doing, but they're doing a fantastic job promoting it.
I'm guessing it's probably on Discovery Plus as well.
Yeah. So Farmhouse Fixer is going to begin airing episodes after April 8th. Like, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I've heard. So starting on April 8th, unless something has changed and they're already doing it, Discovery Plus will also be offering Farmhouse Fixer.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have asked. I didn't realize, like a lot of people don't, like I don't have cable, but like I didn't realize like a lot of people don't have cable, so
yeah.
But people who pay for HGTV, that's how HGTV shows get made. So that's like really important. So like, I think like Hulu, Discovery Plus, maybe Philo, something called Philo, I think they were advertising. So it's just a different world, but people
absolutely, I have it on YouTube TV, and I could get it the next day usually.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
So next, I wanted to bring up actually your website and talk about North of Boston Studios.
Sure.
Let's do that because that's incredibly interesting.
It's weird, right? That's why I think Jonathan and Christina, like, we have a good relationship. They know that they can just call me to do like any weird idea, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've done literally everything from the commercial to interior design, fabrication.
Yep.
The set production side of it was the coolest thing for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for showing this. Yeah, so I mean, in a nutshell, like I'm an art school. I'm like an artsy fartsy guy. I'm a sculptor. And I went to art school. Like I'm an art school dropout. Like I love my college. I went to Montserrat College of Art in Beverly. I met some of the most fantastic people I've ever known there. But I didn't finish school, but you know, just super lucky to have like one opportunity after the next has kind of come my way. And, you know, could be like my hopeful like optimism or something. I just jump on it. Like the HGTV thing I just am like, I like the idea of like opportunity knocks, just see what you can do. And so, yeah, it's like we are a licensed, like, you know, construction company. I've got my contractor's license and, but for the most part, like they're creative jobs. Like I'm not doing like the same thing every day. Like my interest is really in like, people come to me and ask me to do insane stuff. Like that thing you're showing right now is like this Olive Kitteridge. It was like all they told me was that Bill Murray was going to be in this movie. I was like, yep, I'm doing it. Like what, just tell me. And they're like, oh yeah, Frances McDermott's in it. And I was like, what am I doing? They're like, you're going to make some rifles that are as soft as like a Nerf football. And we need you to make these little snails. You can see see the leaf with a little like snail on there. There's a scene in that movie where Frances McDermott was like picking snails off of in her garden and like putting them in a bucket. So that's the type of jobs I get. Like one day someone will be like, hey, can you build us an addition on our house? And the next day, like HBO's like, can you make us 5 snails?
That's incredible. Because I mean, you do the interior design stuff, but you're also so into like here for the music video. I saw, looks like you do some retail.
Yeah, that was for Stride Right, something they did at Target. Just this awesome designer came to me and just asked me to do that.
That's incredible. Yeah, so like, can anybody just come to you and ask to get anything made?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that like this is total like grassroots, you know, like we built this thing just, like I said, I'm a contractor. Like when I first started this company, I was like bar backing at my, you know, I quit my job, you know, doing my background after I left college. I stumbled into a job at Disney. You know, I had been living in Tampa at the time, and I basically an article in the paper about this person who was making props for Disney World. And I just went to the dude's shop and I was like, I want a job. Like, I'll do anything. And then a week later, I was working behind the scenes at Disney World, like basically just like sanding Bondo on sculptures and stuff. But I learned a lot from like those experiences. Like, and that's why, you know, seeing like the thing I always tell people who are like interested in doing what I do is just basically put one foot in front of the other and just like start, like put those feelers out, start saying like, don't be afraid to just walk into some place. If you hear someone's making shit for Disney or, you know, like the movie industry and that's something you're interested in, drive there, park out front and say, who's the production? Like just jam your foot in the door because like, that's like legit. Like there's so much, you know, there's so many roadblocks if you like talk yourself out of things. And I'm always trying to talk myself into like the movie, like that Equalizer movie that you had on the other page with Denzel. When I first started North of Boston Studios, we were like, if we could get him, that was prior to me working on a movie for myself. I had done one Jeff Bridges, Ryan Reynolds movie called R.I.P.D.
Okay.
Prior to that, and then I started the company. And with Equalizer, it was like, if we could even get like one prop in one movie this year, that would be remarkable. And for Equalizer, we made 96 props for that movie. So every single scene, like, there's like, this gun right here is that gun that you're like looking at, and it's like Nerf, you know what I mean? It's like it's like something you could like, whatever. This gun is from that first movie I told you about, the RIPD. It's just like a weird like sci-fi gun. So this shop's just like full of like weird props and stuff like that.
That's so cool.
I get excited about it because it's like, ultimately we made 96 props for that Equalizer movie. So like every scene, he's holding something that we made, like a book or a shot glass or a corkscrew. And that was only because, you know, like through just like basically asking for help, like having a dream, wanting to do that, putting my hand up and saying like, does anybody know anybody who works on the movies? And then, you know, those opportunities filter in, and I met this awesome woman named Jen, who was a prop master. And she just took a chance on me, and we, you know, hired me to do a lot of stuff for that movie. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way this all started for me. The worst thing someone's going to say to you is no. So might as well just go out, and
yes,
if you want it badly, you'll get it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I want to also say people to go to your website. You have your merch like you're wearing right now.
Yeah, we just launched our web store, which has been, there's a lot of fun stuff on there. We like, we've had such an awesome reaction with the web store, and that's stuff I've been dreaming about doing for a long time. Cause I'm like an old like skateboard, you know, like going to shows, like riding my skateboard around. So like I was always into t-shirts. So like we hire local artists to do a ton of our designs. So, and, you know, we pay them, you know, obviously. So I think I was telling you on the phone, like when we first talked, is like, my thing is like, I'm part of a community of like really incredible people, whether it's contractors, designers, local artists, like local businesses, local hardware stores. Like we're called North of Boston Studios because like the acronym is NoBS. Like we're just all about doing good, fun work and really bringing the community up with us. And you can see that on that second episode, like that you were telling, Farmhouse Fixer second episode is full of like local artists who are doing awesome stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that. Yeah, this is awesome. Also have everybody follow you at North of Boston Studios on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for hopping on today. And
cool. Yeah, man. Tune in. It's fun stuff. Thank you so much, Eric. Appreciate your time.
Yeah. Keep in touch and take care. And I hope nothing but the best for you.
Right on, brother. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Take it easy. See ya.